Simply Scuba presents the Deco Stop podcast.
Hi everybody and welcome to the Deco Stop podcast. I'm Mark. I'm joined as always with...
Barry.
Barry is with me today.
Hello.
I usually call him Sean, but today he seems to identify as Barry. Quick disclaimer, if you did watch the Friday's Ask Mark, you might know that my dog hurt his paw. He's fine. He's been to the vets. They kind of sort it all out. He basically broke one of his claws. But I'm filming in the office today, so if I sound a little bit different, or if you hear him like snoring because he's got one of those like inflatable collars now, so he doesn't.
Don't blame the snoring on the dog, Mark. We know it's you.
If you hear him snoring, or if you hear like a duck quacking, that's their favourite toy. So yeah, if there's any sort of unusual doggish background noise, that's why I have to keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't pull his bandage off. But otherwise, yeah, I'm good. How are you, Sean?
I'm hunky dory, thank you. Loving life. It's the weekend, baby.
It is indeed.
I'm going to go to Wildwood, I think, this week. I'm going to go and see the bears before they go to sleep. For nocturnal, they're not putting them down. They're just,
It's a terribly sad story.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Okay.
Other than that, all is cool. All is all right.
It is indeed. So jumping into sort of website updates for Simply Scuba, nothing
Fantastic,
really exciting.
brilliant. That's great,
could
excellent.
see.
Nothing, brilliant.
Main thing is that the Apex WTX harness is back on the website. So that's the kind of the fully padded, fully adjustable harness. That I don't know whether it changed like SKUs or something, but it is basically it's on the website again.
They need to rename that product, Mark. It's so annoying. WTX. It needs to be WTF.
I don't know what it stands for. Does WTX actually stand for something?
Webbing, titanium, X-Men.
X-ray. I don't know because they got WTXD and and WT.
Watertight
Is it WTS?
xylophone. Oh no, that's a Z, isn't it? Xylophone is Z or
No.
X?
X.
Yeah. Watertight xylophone harness.
I don't know. I presume it stands for something. But anyway, yeah, that's back on the website. We do have a new brand that has. I say new brand. We have stocked them before, but that's in the warehouse. I think I mentioned it last week, but we're still
Playboy.
We're still taking photos. Playboy. We're still taking photos. We're still taking
Playboy
photos and doing product descriptions for it. So we'll let you know when that's ready, and that's actually live on the website. Otherwise, yeah, business as usual. Just making sure everything's sort of working properly. We are swapping over to a new sort of. It's almost like a hosting system. So yeah, you'll start to see sort of a few new features popping up on the website, making it a little bit more sort of user friendly.
Do you know what we should bring back on our website? We should bring back.
I'd love Notify Me.
On the Notify Me, yeah, that's good. That's a serious one, Mark. I wasn't going to go down. I was going to play as soon as you load up the website, music plays, like from the top 40. We need to go backwards, mate.
And like a trail of bubbles as your cursor moves across the screen.
That's what we need to bring back.
Kids these days, they don't understand. I was watching someone.
Internet's boring now.
Yeah, I was watching someone and they were talking about the original whatisthematrix.com website, and because they've updated it for the new not remake but like sequel.
It's a remake. It's a remake.
So yeah, the original, and it had all these like sort of hidden sections, and he's like, yeah, but this is the legitimate loading time, and it's like these tiny little images, and they took forever to load up, and he's just like, oh, that is the 90s in a nutshell.
Yeah,
just these websites.
Isn't it the Space Jam website still exists? The original one.
I think so. The original one, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of would that become a meme at this stage of just, yeah, we can't change this now because there'll be such uproar if we did.
Definitely. They can burn Bibles, they can knock down churches, but they cannot take down the Space Jam's website.
Spacejam.com. Oh.
Love it. I love it.
Anyway, on to social media channel updates. What have we been doing?
There is a kind of a cross path, isn't there, between the Green Initiative and social? We got that message, didn't we?
Was. Yeah, I skipped over. This is quite a nice one. Where's it gone? I actually had it up, but I've lost it again. This was on our Instagram, so we get message whenever people tag us in posts and all that kind of stuff. And this is quite a nice one, which was kind of like recognition. So on our what's it called? Like confirmation email saying that your order has been placed and your order has been sort of dispatched. We add a little message and an Instagram user at Trickwazia, yeah. They put a little sort of thing up on their story, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's basically we put on the dispatch notification. Your order has now been dispatched from our new highly sustainable and efficient warehouse run on zero CO2 renewable electricity and biogas. We are also proud to say that in our continual goal to eliminate plastic from our own packaging, we now stand at 99.81% plastic free. That's actually at the bottom of my my email signature as well.
I don't even have a signature. Mine's cheers, Sean.
I'll build you one, Sean.
No, you're right.
Trickwazia says, I love those kind of businesses. Being environmentally aware is a necessity, not a luxury. And we have like a business sort of chat MSN Messenger type thing, and one of the channels on that is again, a lot of kids have no idea what that is. Yeah. I was thinking yesterday, actually, I can't remember what it was, but I was in my mind talking to myself, and something was happening really quickly, and I was just like, oh, like the Linford Christie. I was like, kids aren't going to know who Linford Christie is. It's just going to be Usain Bolt, but. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that's really defining my age, I guess.
Yeah, we're old.
But anyway, we have a sustainability chat in there, and you shared it on that, and a lot of people sort of love that. It's nice to get that kind of thank you and recognition on that. Yeah, we put a lot of effort into.
Well, we don't. We don't. The company does.
Yeah, I mean, I got some parcel tape, and I specifically went out of my way to pay a little bit extra to get that sort of paper tape. So yeah, the parcels that I'm sending out are more sort of recyclable.
I am the same. I do love it though. I've recently bought for the Christmas anticipation. I bought a pack of 6 paper tapes to wrap up presents. Yeah. They came wrapped up in plastic. I'm like, fantastic.
Ugh, the irony is just mind-boggling. Individually wrapped.
So I got that plastic and I threw it in the lake. I threw it at some swans. Like, eat this.
I mean, there was a book a few months ago. I think this was like about the start of the pandemic last year. Someone released a book, and it was all to do with how to reduce like plastic pollution and how we're affecting the environment and whatnot, and reducing single-use plastics. And the publisher wrapped each individual book in that like cling film, and it's just the irony. They don't understand. It's like we really do have to get over this. Oh, we need to wrap everything up. No, it was fine. It wasn't until like the 60s, 70s or something when plastic really became a thing. People figured out how to do it in the 50s and the 40s and whatnot. It's we can package things without plastic. Anyway,
but then they also had like asbestos and lead paint. Those guys, so that generation weren't that smart, were they?
Did I tell you about I was watching this channel and they were reviewing. Yeah, I sent you the link, didn't I? They were reviewing like vintage cooking gadgets, and one of them was a hot dog cooker.
Yeah,
but it basically had like 12 metal spikes about 6 or 7 inches apart, and you basically skewered each end of the hot dog between 2 of these spikes, and then it just ran an electric current through the hot dog to cook it. It's like, how did you survive the 70s?
Exactly. Do you know what though?
Those
sorts of hot dogs, frankfurters, I actually prefer them cold.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever had one cold.
You can do, because it's meat. For people, I did air quotes there. Meat, like cooked meat. Pigeon toe.
Yeah,
lovely. Shall we move on to social updates, though, Mark?
Yeah. Let's get back to scuba diving. So
it's me, YouTube. So obviously, it's a reminder for people, if they didn't hear or listen to last week's show. If you didn't, how the blooming hell dare you? There will be no votes for until October for Surface Interval. Because there's a split vote last week, and then we're going on holiday. So we thought, do you know what? Let's just can it for this month. So that's the attitude we've got towards that, guys and girls. Brilliant. You would have seen that we were, if you follow us on Instagram, we were out and about on Tuesday filming. So we've got a new tip series coming live in the middle of October, which should be exciting. So we filmed a bunch of episodes at the start of this week. They just need to be edited and then, scheduled up. But they will be released maybe the middle of October, depending on how quickly I do them. I've got to sort out a sexy little intro for that, Mark. It's going to be lovely. Yeah, baby. Cool. But so that's YouTube. Yeah, so no votes, and there's a new series coming live, so just keep your eye out on that. Instagram. So there isn't much going on Instagram other than the road to 6,000. So I thought I'd look at some stats. So August update. So August was a pretty big month for us. Our interactions were up 73%. The most popular picture that we posted last month was by Alex Dawson, which got 622 likes, which is really, really good. Again, if you're not aware, we've started to repost images. So if you want your image to feature on our channel, just use the hashtag #AskMark. I just instantly said hashtag and thought of Ask Mark. Use the hashtag simplyscuba. Or tag us in it as well if you want to do that, and then if we think the picture's cool, we'll pop it on our feed. We got 4,233 likes, so thanks for that, guys. Also 101 people saved our posts. Cool. So they obviously like the image. It's a nice one. 76 comments. And basically, it's been our best month so far, kind of as in the newer version of Simply Scuba and the new, the new way we do things. It's certainly getting a lot brighter and a lot bigger over there, which is awesome. So that was cool. And also as well, like I mentioned earlier, we filmed a bunch of Scuba Tip episodes, but we also did Instagram Live as well, which went down really, really well. I then downloaded that and then I uploaded that onto YouTube as well. So, both channels got to see our awkward faces, our old men faces going, how does this new technology work?
Is it on?
Is it on? I can't see. I should have worn my glasses.
Is this live?
Oh dear. But
it was hard because we had that intense sunlight.
Yeah.
We were like on the beach and there are a lot of people kind of around, and then the wind started coming in. You're like, oh, this is going well.
Yeah. I know, mate. But it was
but it was fun.
To do,
we're used to doing things off the cuff.
So hopefully we'll do more of those. We'll probably wait till after holidays, maybe October. We'll get something in the schedule for that anyway, which is really, really cool. And podcasts. So obviously, like I keep saying, keep mentioning, Mark and myself are on holiday at the end of this month. So this is the penultimate Deco Stop before our holiday break. So you got this episode, one more, and then you won't hear from us from a couple of weeks. Surface Interval and the deep dive will not be affected. But Deco Stop, Ask Mark, and possibly some dive briefs, maybe. It just depends on how quickly Mark can film some stuff. So hurry up. Get it done.
I can do in a week.
So Deco Stop, it will be the last show as of holiday break next week. But then we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, that's it. Social done.
Okay,
What about the
so
news? What's happening in the world?
So I've done it where it's kind of starts off with the bad news and then gets sort of better and better. So don't worry, guys. So the first news story. So this broke, I think it was last Saturday, and it was 2 scuba divers off the south coast of the UK were basically gone missing. We know that they were diving on the Scylla? HMS Scylla, which is just outside of sort of Plymouth, and they basically disappeared. We still don't know. I've been checking on this news story sort of every day, and no new news has come forwards. So search parties and everyone are sort of still hoping to find something, but no, we still don't know. So yeah, if you are diving, do be very careful, and especially if you're diving inside of a shipwreck, be extra careful and make sure that you're sort of diving properly. The next news story is back in, I think it was 2012. There was a news story of a technical diver who he was sort of fully kitted up on the deck of the boat, and in transitioning to get into the water, he fell over, and he was like full rebreather and Deco stage bottles and everything. Managed to sort of get himself back up. Kind of did that like self-assessment. Yeah, I'm okay. And he jumped in, but on descending, he realized that something was wrong. He tried to ascend, but then in sort of ascending, we're not entirely sure what happens, but he died tragically. The son, who is now 9 years old, I think he was just a tiny baby at the time. He has now been awarded £290,000 in compensations, and the story's kind of more than just that. It is nice that the compensation has finally been sort of awarded, but in this kind of court case, it's really sort of brought forwards all sorts of deck safety and sort of walking around in fins. And all that kind of stuff. The judges basically said, well, because there was no like handrail or anything, or a deck hand to sort of support him, to prevent him from falling, could have been the cause, and all this kind of stuff. So I imagine if you're a dive charter boat, you kind of need to pay attention to this, because if something does happen, you could be liable. So yeah, I think pre-dive safety briefings are going to be incredibly detailed going forwards. I can't imagine we're going to get like too many like extra handrails, because dive decks are already fairly cluttered. But yeah, I imagine the way that we do things are going to have to be a bit more regimented in this litigious world that we're in now. So definitely look forward to that, and obviously be careful. If you are walking around in fins, do it as carefully as possible and whilst holding onto something, so 3 points of contact at all times, and sort of shuffle sideways, backwards. And yeah, if you do sort of fall over and you injure yourself, don't just think, it'll be okay. This poor diver, I think he damaged his liver, so that sort of internal damage, but still thought, I should be okay, and I just want to get in the water and all that. No, just if you fall over and something hurts, just wait, because it could get worse, especially when you're on a dive. You have no idea how it's going to affect you. So err on the side of caution. It's only a dive. I'd rather miss a dive than hurt myself further. But yeah, going forwards, I think just we're all going to have to be extra careful. And the sort of the boat owners and the skippers, they're really going to be on top of it, because if something does happen, they could be liable for upwards of £300,000 court cases.
Fun
Next news
stories,
story.
Mark. Thanks for those.
Yeah, a
two.
bit lighter.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. We're getting into the lighter stuff now. The Loch Ness monster has been spotted on sonar.
Oh my
Apparently,
gosh.
there's. I mean, I'm looking at the screen and there's like a blip. So yeah, the fabled Loch Ness monster has been spotted on sonar as new images capture the underwater creature. I mean, they should always have like a little asterisk next to this because to me that just looks like a shoaler fish. But then it continues on. Apparent sightings of the beast have soared in the past few months, and one tourist believes he has proof of Nessie in Loch Ness.
Wow.
So this is Brandon Scanlon, who has been named by the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register, claims to have recorded a sound image of a creature rumored to be between 3 and 4 meters, which is like 9 to 13 feet long, under the water. But yeah, to me, it just looks a bit like a shoaler fish.
Yeah,
and that's all that it's picking up. I don't think it's a thing. If it was, I think the news story would be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
A new amendment in Illinois in the States is being I think it's being amended. So amends the Environmental Protection Acts. So provides that no person shall knowingly release or cause or organize the release of balloons into the air unless the balloons are 1, used by an institution of higher education or a governmental agency or pursuant to a governmental contract or bona fide scientific or meteorological purposes, or 2, released indoors and remain indoors, provided that persons who violate the amendatory acts provisions shall be subject to a civil penalty of $500 for each offence, and that the release of 50 balloons or fewer at one time is a single offence, effective January 1st, 2022. The amendment would remove language providing that the release of balloons must be done knowingly, provides that any person who violates the mandatory provisions shall be liable for a warning from the agency for the first violation and a civil penalty of up to $500 for the second violation and a civil penalty of up to $1,000 for a third or subsequent violation. Provides that the release of more than 50 balloons shall constitute a separate violation for every 50 balloons released. Provides that the amendatory provisions do not apply to the release of a helium balloon used for the safe operation of a hot air balloon. So
just imagine that. The hot air balloon, you're not allowed to fly. Here's a fine.
Here's a fine. But it's basically, stop releasing balloons, because they go up, they come down, and they just stay wherever they are. And especially in areas where sort of turtles are feeding, they look a lot like one of their natural foodstuffs. So I think the Environmental Protection Act is really kind of like ramping up. And with all these like gender reveal parties and all that kind of stuff, obviously this is just the state of Illinois. I imagine in a few other places they're going to start to get this like legislation of don't release balloons. It's horrifically bad for the environment. The ribbon as well. They often have like ribbons at the bottom. That doesn't go away. It tangles up in things and animals eat it. So you don't need it for your gender release or gender reveal party or whatever it is. You don't need it for your birthday party. Don't need balloons.
Balloons, a party without balloons is well boring.
No, you don't need balloons.
When you have a kid, Mark, you'll find out.
No. I don't get balloons. I got one with my mobile phone, because it was like a new model or something, and this huge box turned up, and the mailman was like, oh yeah, I've got quite a few of these, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, yeah, I just ordered a new phone. That's all. And this thing was like, yeah, it was the size of Rupert. And I was just like, what on earth have they done? And you open it up and this balloon like floats up out of it. And you're like, oh, well done. I mean, granted, it was obviously their sustainability like department had gone, oh, okay, right, yeah, we can do balloons, but it has to be like biodegradable plastic alternative.
Yeah.
And it had like confetti on the inside, but it was that very thin sort of tissue paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could tell that they had a field day. It's like, right, well done marketing. Yeah, okay, it's gonna have to. We can't have like silicone balloons. It can't be this, that, and the other. Yeah, it can be helium, but no, we don't need balloons anymore in this day and age. Let's leave them in the 1980s, and that's it.
Bar humbug. I think
if it's a weather balloon or a hot air balloon, it's fine. If it's used for travel, fine.
Looks like I've poked a sore spot there, Mark.
I don't get balloons. And just, you see them like walking the dogs, those like shiny mylar balloon things, and you're like, oh yeah, great, happy birthday, Timmy. Now it's just like wrapped up in a bush.
Yeah. Now it's the bush's birthday.
Yeah. And the final news story that caught my eye was a British scuba diver who has found, apparently, one of the world's largest jellyfish off the English coast. So Darren Martin, 59, from Tyne and Wear, spotted a lion's mane jellyfish, which can apparently reach up to lengths of 6 feet long. Quite a few photos of this, which is pretty cool. And yeah, is I mean, I've never seen one. I don't think I'd want to get too close to it. I'm not entirely sure how dangerous they are, but yeah, it's pretty hefty. There's like pictures of divers behind it, and this all the like stringy arms of the tentacles and things are just like engulfing the diver. Obviously, not making contact, but
yeah, he punched it.
Yeah,
start wrestling it.
So yeah, they exist in our waters now, apparently. So yeah, do be careful, and yeah, don't touch it. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. If you have any interesting news stories, let us know on sort of one of our YouTube channel videos. Sort of post a link in the comments and we'll find it, or sort of Instagram, all that.
I've got one right now, mate. I can't believe you've not said about this one. Duck trained to speak in Australian. A duck's been trained to speak in Australia, and his word is, or he's been trained to say, "You bloody fool."
Yeah,
have you not done that one?
I didn't think that was overly scuba diving related.
That's more important than all the stories. A duck saying, "You bloody fool."
It's not bad, actually. If you listen to it, it does kind of sound like, oh, you bloody fool.
Why isn't it crikey, mate? Put a shrimp on the barbie. Dear. Anyway, Mark. Awesome. What is your product of the week? What have you decided that you want to flog to people?
So weather, believe it or not, is getting colder. We're heading into autumn.
I had to get my shorts out of storage. I got a tan from when we went filming.
It was so hot that day. Yeah, I'm in my lightest shorts, and
these dog guys is naked. It's really disturbing. He's
absolutely really
stark naked.
It's a podcast. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. His lightest shorts, his skin, his flappy skin.
But
anyway,
going forwards, obviously it is going to start getting cold. So I thought I'd talk about Bear's ultra warmth dive gloves. So this is quite interesting. Bear don't really exist too much here in the UK. They're not a well-established brand, as it were. They do exist, but it's not like in every single dive center. They're not all over the place. They're fairly kind of elite as it's.
I'd say low key because they're pretty big in the States and stuff, aren't they?
Oh,
It's just the UK where people are like, ooh, what's
Yeah,
this? Who and ooh and what?
Yeah, it's weird how you get these kind of like not territorial brands, but yeah, they're huge in the States, but over here most divers haven't even heard of them. So
it's because you don't like change. You like your Scuba Pro, you like your Fourth Element,
Scuba Pro, Oceanic,
and Apex, and maybe a bit of Aqualung if you're just starting out.
Yeah,
I think the only brand that I think has global praise is Shearwater. Other than that, it's very regional, isn't it?
Yeah. Every time I see a post on Reddit about someone asking for like recommendations on a dive computer or something, it's just go with Shearwater. Just don't even bother looking at any other brands. Just buy some kind of Shearwater.
Just buy the Taric. Buy the Taric. You buy the Taric. They should everyone should have just an audio clip of me just saying, just buy the Taric.
Yeah.
And then just post that. Just buy the
It'll be one of their like auto bot responses.
Exactly.
Like, I hear you're talking about dive computers. Here's a link to buy a Taric.
Yeah. That's it.
Nah. It's basically, if you're just starting out, then buy a Peregrine. If you're getting a bit more advanced, then buy a Perdix. But if you want something more sized, just buy a Taric.
Just buy a Taric. Anyway, so Bear, they make great Taric dive computers.
No, so Bear make exposure protection, so wetsuits and dry suits, and it's their internal lining that a lot of people sort of overlook. So if you're just looking at like 5mm neoprene gloves, a lot of people, I feel they just look at the price and go, oh, well, why is this one so much more expensive? I'm just going to buy the cheap one. But actually, the internal lining has a huge effect on how warm your hands are. So with Bear, if you look for sort of the word ultra warmth, or more specifically OmniRed, OmniRed is their technology, which basically uses infrared technology that kind of reflects body heat back to you. So it's got like thermoreactive materials embedded in the fabric, and it kind of converts outbound body heat into thermal energy and then reflects it back towards you. And it has all sorts of sort of benefits. It's first of all, it's hydrophobic, so it actually dries much quicker. So for your second dive, it's much more comfortable. You don't have to put that like cold, wet glove back on. A lot of the time, it's actually sort of dried between dives. It has an antimicrobial sort of property to it as well, so it's killing bacteria, so your gloves don't stink as well after a long dive season. And most importantly, it actually keeps your hands that much warmer. So even though it's the same sort of 5mm thickness, great, but actually your hands are getting a little bit warmer. And it's a matter of, you could go down to like the 3mm gloves and get the benefit of better dexterity, but your hands are that little bit warmer compared to like a cheap pair of 5mm gloves. So if you are in the market for some like wetsuit accessories going forwards, getting into the sort of colder months, then yeah, it's definitely worth considering the Bear Ultra Warmth series. It is just sort of better for you, and with that increased warmth, I just did a video yesterday that you'll see in a couple of weeks talking about decompression illness, and it actually,
spoilers. Don't no. This is going to be redacted. It's just going to be a until you stop talking.
So the that sort of OmniRed lining, because it's keeping your hands kind of warmer, it actually helps to like boost blood flow in those sort of tissues. So around your gloves, it's increasing circulation, which increases sort of warmth, and that circulation means that you're decompressing at a sensible rate, so you're less likely to get like skin bends in your hands, which most people don't even notice, but studies are showing that it does actually happen to divers. I think they call them ghost bubbles as well. Like you can't see them on like ultrasounds and stuff, but yeah, it's important to keep your extremities at like a sensible body temperature, because otherwise your hands aren't decompressing at the same rate as like the core of your body. So as you like ascend and then you like go and warm your hands up on the radiator, then all of a sudden all that extra sort of gases dissolved in your tissues, they suddenly come out of solution and form like little bubbles, which is basically decompression illness. So we don't want that. So yeah, keep your hands nice and warm, and yeah, you'll be safer diving.
Awesome.
Yeah, there'll be a link down in the description below if you want to check them out. But yeah, search for Bear Ultra Warmth dive gloves, and yeah, they are very comfortable. I've worn them before.
Cool, awesome. I was going to try and do a gag there about naked people and gloves, but it didn't fruition before we finished. So I'm
trying to put it together. Yeah,
no. Oh, he's finished now. I'll just mention the fact that I was going to make a rude joke. Anyway, Mark, question of the week. So this one is a bit of a long-winded one. So with the popularity of deep dive in Dubai and it Y40, there's so many of these other types of Y40.
But you got Nemo 33. Yeah,
but obviously deep dive is special in the fact that it's not just a big hole. There is you've got lots of extra bits in there to play with. So with that sort of thing, and again, Deep Dive Dubai is doing really, really well. Do you reckon there's going to be more training facilities like these? Now, like obviously like the YKs and all that sort of thing, but where it's got a bit more of a fun element to it. Do you reckon we're going to start seeing these pop up more and more all over the world?
Possibly. I mean, Nemo 33 was the... I believe like the OG, as it were. There had been deep diving pools, but they're typically owned by like the Navy for training and whatnot. Whereas so Nemo 33 is for recreational diving and sort of free diving and training and all that kind of stuff. Then I think Y40 was the next one, and now we have Deep Dive Dubai, the Triple D.
Triple D.
Yeah. I imagine we will see more but it's always going to be that kind of not necessarily diminishing returns, but if you have something exclusive, that you have one thing in the world, like the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty, whatever it is. There's that
those two things before they were those things, Mark, just to let you know that there's already a Statue of Liberty before the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower before there was the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I know. We got Blackpool Tower, but...
That's it. That's what it was based off. The Eiffel Tower was actually based off of Blackpool Tower. Little asterisk. I do not know if that's true. It's probably not. I made it up. Cheers. Bye.
I do know, thanks to that Nicolas Cage National Treasure movie or whatnot, there is a second...
well, I've seen the original Statue of Liberty. Yeah, it's in France.
Well, that's where it was built.
Yeah.
And then they shipped it over. Yeah.
But I've seen the original where what it was based off.
Anyway,
for people that are visual, I'm pinching my shirt, going, "Yeah, baby, I know these things." You know it. I mean, I completely stumbled across it. I was like, "That's the Statue of Liberty," and I was like, "What? I'm not in New York. Where's Spider-Man?"
It was like a thank you, wasn't it? From France to the US.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I was going to say I got a fun fact. It was actually a man. The Statue of Liberty. The model was a man.
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. So technically, Lady Luck's actually a dude.
Or a transvestite.
Either or. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
So, when there's one specific thing, then people travel from all around the world and they like focus on this. Whereas if there's one in every single country, then it kind of dilutes that. And the return value is fairly limited, because I've been to Nemo 33 twice, and I don't know if I'd go back again.
Is
Because
it
after a while...
Isn't there a tap on that, though? Sorry to interrupt, that you're only allowed to go there 33 times, and then you're barred.
No, it is the depth.
No. You got 33 attempts to find Nemo.
But yeah, I don't know. I probably would go back, but I'm not like overly not incentivized, but it's like after a while it is just a big swimming pool. The novelty does kind of wear off after the second time you go. So I mean that is the beauty of Deep Dive Dubai. Instead of just being a deep swimming pool, yeah, they've got like this underwater tree, and they have different rooms and like completely different sections. So you can spend time in each of these and still not see everything. But saying that, after you have done everything, would you go back? I mean, it's not like the Red Sea or something, because the reef is always changing. Sure, sort of shipwrecks and whatnot, they don't change that much, but you can still visit them multiple times and still be amazed at the sort of the intricacies and how things are like degrading and things are growing and the different marine life as well. But after a while, yeah, a really big swimming pool is just going to be a really big swimming pool. Will we see more? I'm pretty sure we will. Hopefully, Blue Abyss has found a sort of a forever home in Cornwall, and they do.
I was going to say that was heading towards Cornwall, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're basically, they've been looking for a site to sort of start building, and it's moved left, right, and centre. And recently, a couple of months ago, they managed to find a place in Cornwall next to an airport.
Well, I did volunteer your back garden, but they never got back to me, so...
Try and build, a 50, 60 metre deep swimming pool in my backyard will be quite hard. There's not a great deal of parking as well, so I don't think it would be best.
Well, knock down all the houses. Be all right?
Yeah. I think we'll see like a handful, but I don't think it's going to be like... a thing that it replaces like local sort of diving pools, because I mean, yeah, it's great to have that sort of resource of, there is a 50 meter deep section, but for the majority of scuba diving training, you only want like 3 meters, because that's where most introductory level students, that's all they really need for their training to do their skills. You don't want it much deeper, because then the instructor has to take into account of, what if I get like a group of students and one suddenly just like disappears? You don't have to worry about decompression and no decompression limits whilst doing like remedial training. You need that like sort of safe shallow end. And then it's only when you get to like really pretty advanced tech that you need that 30 or even like 10 meter plus sort of sections when you start getting into more advanced diving. So yeah, I think we will start to see more, but I don't think it's going to be commonplace. You'll probably have like one in a region, and then that's kind of it. People will travel. I mean, I've driven to Brussels, which is where Nemo 33 is. People do travel around the world to see these and to visit these sort of deep diving pools. But I don't think it's going to be a matter of, okay, I live I live in the UK. I want to learn how to scuba dive. I'm going to go to Brussels to learn how to scuba dive. No, you're going to go to your local diving centre and learn how to dive there. But once you're qualified, I'll go visit just for the novelty, just to sort of say I've been to Nemo 33 or wherever it is. But
cool.
I don't think there's a huge amount of return value.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What if
they are cool?
What if they were to not fill the deep pool with water, but with balloons? Would that make you happy?
Well, they're not floating, so I'm okay with that, and they are indoors. So
no, it's an outdoor pool.
I don't know. That would kind of suck because you just like fall to the bottom, and that's it.
And then you're dead. You can't get back up.
Yeah,
you'll be choking on balloons.
I mean, luckily I don't really suffer from claustrophobia, but I imagine a lot of people would just like
that'd be horrible.
Being buried in balloons, and you wouldn't be able to like climb your way out because your body weight would always like push yourself back down to the bottom. Yeah.
Coming to you live, well, not live, but in Saw 7 or whatever, how many other Saw movies they've got, Death by Balloons.
It's the most like brightly coloured, family-friendly torture scene.
That's it.
I mean, in Nemo 33, I can't comment for the others because I can't remember at the moment, but Nemo 33 certainly has a ladder from the deepest section. So as long as you could find that, you could climb out.
That ladder is made out of the ribbon that once held the balloons.
Oh no, it's awful.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I would like to see more of these sort of training facilities. I think some of them have to have a bit of a niche, because we went from Nemo 33 to Y40 in Italy, which was just a little bit deeper. It does have an underwater tunnel, like you see in zoos, which is kind of cool. But otherwise, yeah, it is just kind of a deep swimming pool. Deep Dive Dubai, of course, has all this like very unique stuff. It has like libraries, and I think there's like a pool table and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of interesting and niche. But I mean, of course, it's Dubai, so it had like infinite money thrown at it. But yeah, I think there does need to be a certain niche.
One full of alligators.
If they're
and piranhas, like... and your wetsuits made out of meat.
I'm thinking more like robotic, you know, those like drones that we've been talking about in previous weeks. Yeah, no. If they just had like robotic fish swimming around, that would be kind of fun.
You have the UK version where we can't afford it because we're too busy paying off this COVID debt. It would just be the little cheap wind-up toys that you put in the bath. It'd just be a bunch of them, yeah. And then someone's job would just be there to wind up, chuck them in the ocean or in the pool.
I actually had. I was going through my parents' attic when I was a dive instructor, and I came across a submarine, a wind-up submarine toy. Cool. From when I was a kid, and I was like, yes, this is going straight to the dive center, because yeah, we had our like, I can't remember, it's like 10 meter long, 3 meter deep swimming pool. Yeah. I was like, right, yeah, this is going to be great on tri dives, and it's like doing its thing. I was like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever.
When you left, did you take it with you, or did you leave it there?
It broke.
Did you get too excited with it? You played it too much.
No, I think it lasted a few weeks, but where it was like 10 something years old or something, I think the spring on the inside that winds it up just like rusted, and I think I was like winding it up sort of once, and it just went ping. I was like, oh no. Yeah. Oh well.
And then you threw it at a seagull. Take that. All right, well, that's interesting. Guys and girls though that are listening to this on YouTube, that's right, I said listening to this on YouTube, the world's biggest video platform. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be more of these types? Do they need to have novelties to them to attract more people? Let us know your thoughts below. And have you actually dived in Deep Dive Dubai? Did you enjoy it? Let us know your thoughts below, please. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's it, isn't it? We're done. Let's run this. Yeah, let's run this up now. 50. We're hitting the nearly 50-minute mark. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to follow us and subscribe sort of wherever you are, especially on Instagram, because that's kind of what we're pushing up towards the end of the year. We're on the sort of road to 6,000, which is our kind of sort of target for the end of the year, but also on sort of YouTube and all that kind of stuff, because the more people that subscribe, the more that we can convince our bosses to sort of let us do a bit more adventurous stuff and actually sort of go outside filming and maybe even underwater. So yeah, like, share and subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to check out simplyscuba.com. We sell all sorts of interesting scuba diving, snorkeling, free diving equipment. If you're looking at sort of buying some new equipment, you're getting into scuba diving, that's fine. If it's getting a little bit pricey, then we have some 0% finance options to make your life a little bit easier. We have Klarna, which lets you sort of split it up into a few different chunks. And if it's over, I think it's £35, something around there, if it's like a new mask or something, you're not sure if you like it, you're not sure if it's going to fit you, then there is like a system where you can like offset the payments for, I think it's about 30 days. So that gives you time to receive it, try it on, decide whether it fits or you like it. If you don't, then you can sort of return it, and I don't think the payment sort of leaves your bank account, so that sort of makes your payment a little bit safer. We also have Adyen, which is a clever system which protects all your banking details when you sort of shop through us. If you just sort of search for Adyen, you can like create accounts and whatnot. It's all encryption, all that kind of stuff. Also, don't forget to check out the 2 Minute Foundation, which is like our partnered charity. They basically encourage people to take 2 minutes out of their day just to sort of help clean up the local environments, but they also create sort of A-frames that give people the resources to help clean up sort of a bit more responsibly. If you do have any questions, comments, queries, or even corrections about anything, and you want myself and Sean to discuss it on the Friday show Ask Mark, use the hashtag #AskMark in your comments, wherever it is, if it's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, then yeah, use that hashtag. It makes it a little bit easier. You can, of course, sort of DM us, and that still gets through, but yeah, you can put it in any of the comments section and we will find it. That's it for the podcast today. Thank you for listening, everybody, and of course, safe diving.
Stay classy, scuba divers.
Yeah, that was Barry.
Barry, hello Barry. Barry. Hi, I'm Barry Scott.
Oh no, he's back.
The Deco Stop podcast is produced and recorded by Simply Scuba, the UK's #1 dive store. Visit today at simplyscuba.com.